Right, hi, this is the commentary on cognitive dissonance. This whole project took me about 5 months in total, I think, which is actually really quick because it ended up being exactly 6.66 minutes. Get it? Like 666, you know? Yeah. um, so this project was basically meant to be a two-part thing. It's got Act 1, which is the dark side, kind of, and then Act 2, which is the light side, and it's separated by an interlude, which we'll get to in a minute. That obviously is what that's actually not what cognitive dissonance, the actual disorder, is, but it is close enough that it justified the name, and I think it just kind of, it works, so allow it. Right, let's get into this. So we start off with this intro, which was the first thing I made. This was back when it was meant to be called The Funeral, and the actual VHS tape in this used to have The Funeral written on it, but I had to get rid of that and refilm it. So I was just in a local park, I filmed that. It was so cold, I came in, my hands were absolutely freezing, like oh my god, that hurt. And just put down the chest, pretty simple. It's the first live action kind of film thing I've ever shot, so I think it's kind of okay, I guess, for the first thing, but my strengths really do lie with animation. And that's the, just a quote that I think encapsulates the whole project, I suppose. Very nice intro. That's just meant to be as disconcerting as possible. Once again, kind of with the cognitive dissonance theme, because then it contrasts to this classical music that's about to start playing. So this was composed by someone on Fiverr called Ignaski. I think that's how you pronounce it, but I'm not actually too sure. These shots are using some CG, which I had to learn for this film. I learned it basically just for this, and I'm really happy with how they turned out. These dancing shots actually use some frame interpolation, however it does work for this because there is no real ease in and out that it needs to get right, as it is so slow anyway. And this is all just really nice stuff. Honestly, there are some parts where it's a bit choppy, a bit, his legs don't move much, but it still works. Now this skull man, I got the armature for him
in a way it immortalizes the artist at a
over a
certain
year
point in
ago
their
now.
life.
However, it is rarely a true expression of the creator.
Just what the hell I wanted to do with it. In the end, it got used for this, and as you can see, we've got the shadow shot. Yeah, so then we've got this shadow shot, which is first time I've ever done it. You can see the shadows are obviously real, then this window and this table are just CG things added in after because it didn't look full enough. Forever. Get this sharp cut off, and then just walking out, and then got the minor chord there, which is actually pitched down to make it even weirder. Now this one, I used ChatGPT to write the script for this. I just gave it 2 words, romantic homicide, write me a story, and this is what it came up with. This was the first time I'd animated with Lego minifigures for probably close to a year, I think, at that time. It had been a while, because I've just been working on larger characters, I suppose. And it's really weird because it feels so constricting to animate with these guys because they've got such limited movement that you can't really do much. But if you're creative, they're quite cool. Obviously the sets get to be small, so it's really quick stuff. This was maybe 2 weeks to make this whole. God, mate, that's maybe a month to make this minute 40, which is ridiculously quick. Like, it sounds like a long time, but really that's fast. And the music in the background, it's using the idea of having a resolution to another note, and you can see once the woman is being killed, there is no longer any resolution to the previous note. It always goes to the minor version of the resolution, which was a nice note. Which was, yeah, I guess it's a nice thing that I added. It's quite obvious looking back at it, but, yeah, I think it works, you know. It does its job. Pretty choppy camera movement, but it gets the job done. I really like this figure. I've still got it. I've got it actually right next to me now, in a little case. It's quite strange, but I like it, you know. It's cool in its own special way. Final few shots. I had Romantic Homicide spelt wrong for the longest time, and I only realised just before I was kind of finishing everything up that I'd spelt it wrong, so I changed it and I did a few things. You can see that there, but it was spelt wrong somehow. I don't know how I managed that. Now this is a really cool style. I think it's a graffiti-esque style. I think. That's all cardboard. Everything in this set is cardboard. It's really easy. I just like the idea of having all black and white, just a few red accents, and then just masked around, so I could have just the red. And then that hole as well is just masked, so that I could have it like completely pitch black. That's the Vertigo shot there, but it's done kind of choppily on intentionally. You know, it works. It works. Got all the if you stop and pause, there's a lot of details I put. There's actually a story in the art on the walls. Not that I'll try and explain it, but it's yeah, there's some stuff in there. You know, there's lots of pop culture references and stuff like that. Really happy with that subtle movement of the walking back. That was not hard to do, but it was just tedious. Final thing again. Once again, playing on like using the minor chords and stuff like that for this. Now we have Ladder to Heaven. Now this is the interlude. I did all the music for this. The violin is obviously just a digital emulator. I can't play violin. Choir in the background is me, but pitched up and layered and like a million times. You know the drill. It's a digital ladder which I modelled, and then the character is just like a basically a GIF that I animated, and the cloud's quite self-explanatory. You can see here the GIF kind of loops wrong on purpose, kind of glitches. I really like that. I think it's kind of cool.
Hey, are you an orphan?
Now we've got the part 2 to the Orphans ad from Infinite, which I'm really happy with this. So this one, instead of
Hey, are you an
instead of
orphan?
going for
Were you a
gamers, we've
mistake?
got
Do
orphans
your
this
parents
time. So,
fucking hate you?
Yeah.
Well, one thing we can
You
guarantee.
can see here, this is actually a pretty complicated shot. So the background is actually a 3D animated scene which I projected behind him, and then that cone you can see in the foreground as well, just there. That's also a CG element, and yeah, you know.
One thing we can
looks
guarantee
interesting.
won't be a mistake is buying MPT's
Once
new
again, this is
parent
voiced by
package.
Cratchit,
You will receive the
like last
dismembered
time
head of a
from
parent that
Fiverr.
will give you
Great voice
encouragement.
actor, love it.
You're a disappointment and nobody loves you. You will die
This is
alone,
AI
useless
voice
piece of
here.
shit.
I thought it was quite funny. It's lots of AI voices layered, just to make it seem weirder.
As well as a copy-paste message to send to anyone who makes a "your mother" joke.
I like the
For the
colours in
low,
some
low
of these
price
shots,
of your
and,
firstborn
yeah,
to
I
send to
love the,
anyone who
the
makes
colours in
a
this
"your mother"
final-
joke.
in this
For the
final
low.
shot. Like, come on, that looks great. The warm and the cold colours together with the plain white.
Low
It looks
price
cool.
of your firstborn child. You can get this and more if you just call the number on screen now. Everyone always called me
This one's also a lot of Cratchit voices, and this is both of these characters in this are also voiced by Cratchit.
ugly. Actually, I used
So
to have
is
this
just
mate.
the Anglerfish
He
model from
was a T-Rex.
Lego.
He always called me
It's
ugly,
pretty
and I
cool.
never
You
knew
can make
why.
a few different models.
I
I've
mean,
already
like,
made this
I
one.
look the same
The
as everyone else.
Dinosaur Waiter
Did
is
it end up
also
going so well for him?
Lego, obviously. The background from that fish was also projected. That meteor is a 3D model. Yeah.
Yeah!
It
Who's
looks good, I
ugly now,
guess.
you dead fuck?
It's not great being extinct. I was just eating
Again, this is
breakfast
all
and this
very
big
simple,
rock
it's
hit
just
me and my friends.
Lego background.
Well, at
pink
least science has
sheets
brought me
behind
back.
him.
Still got these
Animate,
stupid
you know.
arms, though.
It's quite tedious actually, matching up the mouth to the voice, but
Yeah?
you know, it's
I'm
not too
pretty
bad.
useless.
And then we have the third iteration of this, the Selfless. This time it's got a very different look. It's got the underwater shot. It doesn't have the camera submerged in the water this time. And this time he actually eats the fish instead of throwing it back in. So, you know, we've got a bit of a character development, if you will, with Stick. So, yeah, that's it. We've got the VHS coming out, as I was putting in at the start. And, yeah, that's it. So, thank you for enduring this video. It's boring, I know, but, you know, it's, hopefully informative to at least one of you out there. So, thanks for watching, and, yeah, thanks.